Hello everybody, just come back from work, press ups 23. It's very interesting watching a lot of people's videos lately. You know, some people can do their videos back to back, but I work in a role where I'm out of the house for 24 hours. And because of the sensitivity and what I do with other people, it's not something you can just do. It's just like do a video. You know, you have to make the right choice and do it at the right time. So that's why sometimes, you know, mine are a day over or something like that. And a great thing, I think, sometimes even if you miss 2 days, you can end up doing this for 75 days if you miss, you know, 1 day on 2 days off. And just think if on that 26th day someone goes to look and you're not there, and on that 26th day you miss it and do it, and suddenly you save a life. So don't be so rigid in what you're doing, because being rigid causes stress and anxiety, and there is no stress and anxiety required in this. So that's a big point for this is, and if you notice that it's a pass on where the next person does it and the next person does it, because we're trying to maintain this thing all the time, keep it going. It's past the parcel. You know, you don't have to be services, you don't have to be blue light, you don't have to be anything other than just someone who knows someone's going to commit suicide. And you know, that WO2, I think it was, or the sergeant from the RLC the other day. You have to look and understand and feel and empathise with that man. Is going through that checklist to not be here. You're crossing things off. So let's say we're going on a packing list, we're going on an exercise, and you're in your hollow square. Ammo, opening up your magazines, you should put them away. Water, take them out, put them away. Gonk bag, yeah, put it away. And the reason why we're doing that as senior members of that platoon, or that thing that we do, is we've failed before, and we know it when we've missed something. It's been uncomfortable. So what we're doing is every day we're providing this checklist for people. We're going through this checklist, and suddenly you start to get you're missing stuff, which leads. This is what leads up to the suicide. You're missing goals, you're missing sleep, you're missing your health, you're missing people. But the last tether, the last anchor, the last things that keeps you tied to the ground is love. And I was so lucky in my life because I've got my children. But when I was going through my low point, my children weren't aware of it until I'd got into this process of recovery. But the only person who knew of my pain and my sadness and my despair and my anguish, you know, deep in the soul of your stomach, was my Jeanette. You know, my wonderful wife. And she unfortunately had to watch her husband be deconstructed like a Jenga tower. You know, you're there, you're this powerful superhuman being that feels amazing, and then someone pushes the Jenga block out, and the next Jenga block, happiness gets pushed out, security gets pushed out, confidence gets pushed out, the tower starts to wobble. But the great thing about what keeps you from the brink is love. Because that's the person, my Jeanette, when my Jenga tower was starting to wobble and fell, she built it up, but then when it started to go wrong, Jeanette put the bricks back in. She didn't do it intentionally. She was just hovering in the background. And I was listening to her at the time, and I didn't, you know, something's going wrong with you, something's going wrong. I was like, no, whatever. And it's your roughy tufty image men. Squaddy. Imagine that you might look at all of those stereotypes there. Male, first of all. Adult male. Soldier. Service person. You know, and it goes into those other roles as well. Super people that are on the planet. Nurses, doctors, teachers. All these amazing people, and they stick to this rigid face. Can't let anyone know. Can't let anyone know. Can't let anyone know. And what snapped me out of that, every time when you go towards that checklist and you think, oh, it's nothing here now, I don't want to be anymore, you get to this final box, no career, no love, no this, no that, and then you come to this checklist and it is love, and that checklist, oh, I'm sorry, you got a big tick in the box there. because your wife loves you and your kids love you. And the really mad thing that I discovered, and I'm 47 now, and at 37 you don't really get it, is the love of your buddies. It's so powerful because you've left home to join the army, and a lot of us come from different backgrounds, and those different backgrounds aren't sometimes the best. And when you get into that machine of the military and you get into that thing, you find people that'll do, they'll give their lives for you. And I know teachers that just work from 6 in the morning till 7 at night. I know police officers that go in an hour early and come home 2 hours later. I know nurses that do the same the hour before and the hour after. No, sorry, never say the word solicitors. Sorry, don't fall into that category. And it's this love, it's this LOVE love. And even though you do love the person, remember the mental state that they're in. They don't think you do. And as much as you do, 100 million. And I have that. This is empathy, me. I knew my Jeanette loved me. I knew it. And I knew my kids loved me. But you go through this checklist every day because you're in such a bad place, anxiety and stress and depression, that you question everything, even silly things like, "Oh, what's up with you?" You think, "Oh, I've heard, just leave me. You don't need all this." You start to not believe that the person loves you, and that's the last tether. That's the last bit of the balloon that keeps you on here. So if you notice, every time I sign off, I always say that you're proper loved, because I wouldn't do this. It took me a lot to come back on here. I was 10 years clear of the military. I was 10 years happy, and I did not want to do it. Did not want to put my head back on the parapet because of the severe devastation I went through, the loss of friends in Afghanistan, my career, not being dined out, just completely cut out like a bad thing, because that's how you feel at the time. Love is everything. So this is obviously number 23. Number 24, I'm going to be doing something else, and number 25 is just going to be a thank you to everybody. So my final one to you all is, you've got to show the people, if you're thinking about not being here, show the people this video. And show them the words you can't say, I'll say for you. That the person who's passing you this video is in a dark place. They can't have the words to express it to you. They're contemplating not being here, and they're ticking boxes that are saying they're going through the checklist. I just want you to lean over to that person and just hold them by the face and look at them in the eyes, and proper, gently hold them in the face and just say, I love you. I love everything about you. Okay? And you just say it over and over again and break their hearts when you're doing it. Okay? The person that's holding the face, because break their hearts to make it, because they have to know every chance that they get that if they're choosing to not be here anymore, they'll hurt you so badly if you choose to not be here. But you've got to drill this into them. Okay? I learned this thing now. I'm 47. Tony Griffiths, Norm, Danny, Tabs, Dave. I love them so much. They're my proper dudes, them. And I would class them as brothers to me, because I spent more time with them than I did with my own family. And they're godfathers to my children, Norm, Martin. Trying to think of all the most amazing people that played a huge role in my life. And you look up to them, people you look up to, and you love them so much. And that's why it's so important for us lot to get on here and pass it back to these young people who are coming through the services, and whoever's struggling, them wives and them mums and them dads, because this isn't just the green machine. This is everybody. Can you imagine how many lives you'll change by just showing these videos to people? Here, get onto this. There's someone thinking about it right now. What time is it? 23 minutes past 9 on a Wednesday night. And there's someone thinking about it this Friday. And you just got to let some people know, it's just a hug sometimes, in your work and that. When you meet your mates from years and years ago in the military, you hug them. You put your hand, you shake them, but you give them this hug. And the only people you hug are the people that you love and care for. Can you imagine going up to your worst enemy and going, I hate you, you prick, putting your arms around him? It doesn't happen. So this is this love. So many different ways of loving all these people. You know, Adam and all them lot has another name. You just love spending time with them. It's dead strange in the military because you're like in different platoons and different battalions, and you meet someone and you think, you know what, they're amazing, them. And you don't get to create that amazing relationship with them. Pull people to one side and just say to them, you know, hold someone's hand, hug them, you know, and whisper in their ear, you're loved. I love you, mate. Because I tell you now, that was my absolute tether, that was my Jeanette. And my kids, and my dad didn't know how to function. My dad did not know what had gone on when it happened to me. And he couldn't say it, and he had to say it to my sister. Oh God, I can't believe this is happening. And my sister would be like the translator for my dad. Because he come from this old school Mancunian background that we don't say love and we don't kiss and hug. And that's a problem. Because we are human beings and we are designed to procreate through, you know, love. And every single song that you buy and everything you wear, everything you do is about love. It's about attracting someone to love you. It's about loving you for being successful. Okay, and all these different types of love. There's 7 different types of love, but just make sure you know you're loved. You're proper loved, and you've got to let people know that. And when you break free from that stereotype of the squaddy, the soul, the copper, the teacher, and you whisper in someone's ear, "I'm struggling," and they put your arms around you and they whisper in your ear, "I love you. I love you, and I need you to stay here." All right, so make sure. Hold someone's hand if you're struggling now. And that is a simple message. You're alright. Because children will tell you, they'll come up to you and they'll hold your hand. And you look straight down and go, you alright? No. Alright? And you give them a hug. And you say, whatever's wrong, we'll go through it together. But you'll simply save a life by saying hello to somebody and telling them you love them. Alright? So all you massive choppers out there, I proper love you. All of you. I won't be doing this otherwise. You know, I put my head on the chopping board by coming back in here. I didn't want to. Oh, Richie, Kev, Murph, all of them. I can't see myself. Ah, fuck off. So yeah, everyone, tell someone you love them right now. Don't think this is all namby-pamby shite, because it's not. Because if you're thinking it's namby-pamby shite, then you're a stereotypical person who's just wearing a mask. Because you know, I'd love to go back through your history where you put your arms up to someone as a baby and demanded love, but suddenly you got pushed into this box, which is, oh, we don't do that, because we're terribly British. All right, so you're proper loved. Go and find someone. Go and find someone now and tell them you love them, because what have you got to lose? Them laughing at you. They laugh at you. Not beds. Don't need them. Wow, look at me fat boy sweat. Alright, 25, go. You're proper loved. Stop it. Stay here because you're loved. Alright? I love you. Love you all. Oh, I need a motorbike. Anyone want to give me a motorbike? Do you love me? You'll get me one.